Hello, this is the welcome and syllabus video for Bio 123. Typically, we would do this in class on the first day. Well, not a video, we would be doing it in person. But since this course starts on, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it is, it does not start on Monday and our classes are Monday. We have a video presentation to get you started. So I'm still going to go through the basic welcome video, chat with you so you can get to know me a little bit and know what to expect for this course. So this is Bio 123. I am Linda Bernhardt. So first off, we've got the basics. We have who I am, how the course is going to be run, that kind of thing. On here, it says, what kinds of questions do you have? Well, guess what? You can't ask me right now because it's a freaking video. So there's no actual interaction. I wish there was, but there's not. And so I'm just going to cover a whole bunch of stuff. And then if you have questions after you watch this, go ahead and message me, ask. We're good to go. Okay, so this says me. Clearly, this is not me. These are important little, well, little is a weird thing to say, important organisms in my life. This one, let's see, I'm going to use the pointer because I can do that here. This one right here, this is Zoe. I almost never see her. She lives in a different room. She doesn't like anybody, so that's how it works. Down here, we have my baby Fang, and we have a baby Osiris. Fang is no longer with us. We lost him last year, and I'm still not doing so hot with that one, and you will hear about him some. And then over here, we have the humanoids. This is my nephew, Nickel, and then these are my two kids. This is Pax, who is much bigger now, and this is Iz. This t-shirt says, you read my t-shirt, that's enough social interaction for today, which I think is kind of funny. Now, I use this as a jumping off point so you can see some of the things that matter to me. In order to turn it into knowing a little bit more about me is to fill you in on a few things. One thing, this little guy, Nickel, severely ADHD. These two, my kids and myself, we're all on the autism spectrum. This means our brains work a tad different. That's, no big deal, but you'll get used to it. I'm also ADHD, which you'll find very quickly. And if you have never met me or you haven't had me before, and the only way you would have had me before, since you're in Bio 123, is if you had me for 141, the environmental science. Otherwise, clean slate, which is why I'm trying to tell you a few things about me. If this was the Bio 124 video, I wouldn't be saying quite as much. Let me give you the updated picture. So this is Nickel of a couple of years ago. This is Osiris now. Is Pax being a goofball. And what I like to go ahead and tell you about here is, I mentioned the autism thing. I also have PTSD and general social anxiety. I'm very jumpy, very fidgety. I move a lot. Doing videos, not my favorite thing to do, but when we can't meet in person, I want you to still have as much of the course of what you would expect. So I do this kind of thing. I've learned a lot of people like videos, even though I don't. I also do not rewatch my videos. I don't really edit them. And so you get all my mistakes and whatnot. So just like the class, I will move a whole lot in class. You will see me do a whole lot of pacing and such. Let's see, I told you the basics. Also have asthma, so sometimes you're going to hear me coughing a lot. Let's see, what else? I finished the 9th grade and then I left school. Didn't graduate. I got my GED as soon as I turned 18. I have had a whole bunch of different jobs, which is what I will pull into a lot of how I cover stuff, because I will make the most bizarre connections. You'll learn that with the different lectures and stuff. So Some people will be like, I can't believe I have to take this and whatnot. And then by the end of the term, more often than not, you're going to appreciate how I cover things. That's it. Let's see, the more anxious I get, the more I talk, the faster I talk. And so if I start doing that in class, you just have to raise your hand and ask a question. Basically, you're my human speed bumps. You're the ones who help tone me down. There's other stuff I normally say, can't really remember right now. Like I said, it's the interaction that helps when I don't have anybody to look at and to get feedback from, to know when to continue, stuff like that. Kind of messes things up. So, yeah. And I'm also doing this on New Year's Day and kind of low energy. So yes, this is me low energy. And yeah, what you'll get in class, a bit different. I so know I forgot to cover some stuff there, but we'll figure it out. All right, syllabus time. Clearly, you're not going to be writing stuff down to ask me in a moment, but if you make notes, then you can always email me and ask me stuff. For the syllabus, I don't bother handing everybody stuff. It is on the computer. So I'm going to show you. We are going to go to, don't laugh at all my tabs that are open. We are going to go to your class, which is this one, 1, 2, 3. This is Moodle. You have to be able to get onto Moodle. Have to. That is 100% a requirement because this is a hybrid course. So that means half of it is online. Like I said before, this is Bio 1, 2, 3. We meet on Mondays from 12:15 to 4:25. Room 3. We will do our best to start promptly at 12:15. We are required to go until 4:25. We will have at least one break in here, maybe more, but we do have breaks. Going to go ahead before I even get to the syllabus. Going to go ahead and cover some of these things. Here's where I will post various announcements. So randomly check it. If I were you, I would make sure you have it set up in Moodle that when an announcement is posted, you get emailed, and then I would check my email. COVID-19 policy, yes, there is actually still a pandemic. No matter who wants to say I'm over it, that's not how it works. This is a science class, so we are going to be sciencey about all of this kind of thing. So make sure to, if you're feeling really ill, if there's something issue, email me, email the school, let us know ahead of time, and then we'll figure out what to do. We can work with you. Missing class and then telling us after the fact is not being proactive. We need you to be proactive. So if you realize you're getting sick, contact us, that kind of thing. Okay, hybrid class. We meet on Mondays. Notice we start January 23rd in person. I just like making the cursor do that. The first Monday, the 8th? Yeah, the 8th. We don't meet that time because our term doesn't actually start until that Tuesday or Wednesday. I want to say Wednesday, but I'm really not positive. It doesn't matter. It's not on Monday. The following Monday is MLK. So it's a holiday. So we do not meet in person the first 2 weeks, but you have to keep up with the online material. So January 23rd is the first time I will see you in person in class. And that thankfully is one of the best labs too. So we get to do that one. Notice it says material for weeks 1 and 2 online, mandatory. Oh my gosh, yes, you have to do these. This is another one letting you know that your online attendance is mandatory and you have to do this participation in academic honesty verification quiz. I'm going to show you that. This is reminding you that you have to do this and that if you fail to do it, you're going to be withdrawn. This is literally how GMC does their stuff. There is somebody who will go through there, and by Friday, I think it's Friday night when they go through it, something like that. But they will go through, and anyone who did not complete this, poof, they just knock you straight out of the course. So this is the very first thing you want to make sure you do. Again, reminding you it's a hybrid course, you have to have access. It is not optional to say, well, I can't do it. Can't do that. Hybrid course, you have to do the online work. Okay, here is the syllabus. We are now going to take a look at the syllabus. I have little notes like you want to read this. So we click on the syllabus, pops up, and you should be able to see this. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And let me make it bigger. Okay, this is going to give you a lot of the same information. Bio 1, 2, 3. We meet 12:15 to 4:25, room 3. This is the email address where you can send me emails and I will get them. All this is the stuff that nobody wants to read anyway, blah, blah, blah. This is if you need accommodations to let Director Anderson know. There's paperwork, whatnot involved. If you are needing some kind of special accommodations, that's how you go about it. If it's something I can help you with, just let me know. Yeah. Okay, class, we are going to have lecture and discussion, which is the main stuff. We also have labs. We have tests. There's writing assignment and grades. The grades is where I spend some time. A lot of people have not seen this point system. This is how I do your grades. Number 1, notice right here where it says there will be no rounding of grades. I do not round the grades. So you can't sit there and think, hey, I've got an 88.9. That means I've got an A. Won't happen. I use points. I do not drop any grades because when you use the point system, you want all the points you can get. So you are keeping a running tally throughout the term. Every assignment is worth a certain number of points, and we'll get there. At the end of the term, this is how you know what you got. So if you have 900 points or higher, you have an A. 800 to 899 points, you have a B. 700 to 799 points, a C. 650 to 699 points, a D. And 649 points or below, you have an F. Non-negotiable, I don't round. This means if by the time you're getting to the end of the term, if you have like say 903 points and you don't feel like doing anything else, that's fine. You already have an A. It will not go down. That means if you bust butt throughout the term, you will not have to do the final. Not at all, because you will have already gotten your over 900 points. However, if you have 899.7 points, you have a B because you did not get to the 900 mark. Remember, I am not going to round. I count every partial point. And so again, if it's 899.7, that is still a B. I know this sounds crazy, but trust me, I give you more than enough opportunities to get the 900. So this might take a little while to get used to. Feel free to ask me. Each week when we come into class, I will put on the board what a perfect score is. So you will be able to keep track of exactly how you are, because a lot of people like looking at the percentage. So I'll show you how to do that in class. Okay, you cannot miss more than 2 days of this course. You will be withdrawn from the course on the 3rd absence. Also the same for your hybrid assignments. If you miss 3 hybrid assignments, that also counts to be withdrawn. This is not my choice. This is GMC policy. Take a look at this one. No makeup assignments. No makeup assignments, no extensions. If you miss an assignment, you missed it. You get a 0. That's it. Period. End of story. Everything I have on here, I have open for a period of time. So you have more than enough time to get the task done. Almost every assignment, and I'm going to explain why I say almost every assignment will open Sunday morning, as in Saturday night / Sunday morning at midnight. And it will close the following Sunday at 10 p.m. That means you have over an entire week to do almost every single assignment. It's not my fault if you wait until the very last minute to get to it and you can't complete it. If you want to never have this issue, we meet on Mondays. Go ahead and take a look on Sunday or on Monday when we go to class and get all your stuff done by Tuesday or Wednesday. And then you don't have to worry about it. You can have every weekend off if you want to. When something is due Sunday at 10 p.m., it doesn't mean you can't turn it in sooner. I prefer you to turn it in soon. So try that. Notice I do not accept late work. I won't. I will just tell you, sorry, next time start earlier and you will get a 0. That's it. Because your job as a student is to do your work and turn it in on time and properly. Okay, we're going to keep on scrolling. No food or drink supposed to be in our room. If you want to bring water or something, I'm not going to argue that, but you're not supposed to be having the other stuff. And don't eat in the class. Just don't. Not really going to worry about most of this. I will, however, cover this part right here. Please, 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 please do not wear a bunch of perfume or cologne. It's overwhelming. It might cause me to start choking. I can't handle very strong smells. I've had other students who couldn't either. And some people just don't realize how much they're putting on. Please be careful. If you are a perfume cologne wearer and you put something on and then you come up to ask me a question and you see me lean back like this, or I'm going like this while you're talking, it's because it's too strong of a smell for me. Just letting you know. You'll see me do it with some people. Okay, COVID-19, still in the pandemic. It's still here. No, COVID's not going away. Slowly, we are getting more adapted to it, but it's here. It is contagious. It is spread through close contact. The fact that you will have a group of us in a closed room with not great ventilation means anyone who comes in that room and breathes can easily spread it. So even if somebody has it and they have no symptoms and they're just breathing along in the room, anybody else in the room can contract it. This is how viruses work. No matter what your political affiliation is and whether or not you are tired of all this and wish to take back your life, a virus is a virus. This is science. This is how it works. I will be wearing my mask, most likely through the entire term. I keep doing it because I am trying to protect myself and others, mostly others. I am going to do a lot of talking. I mean, our classes are 4 hours long and I'm the instructor. I have no choice. If you keep track of what's going on in the world, it's not just coronavirus. Right now, we're also flu season, and then we also have RSV going around. All of these are respiratory issues. I've already mentioned I have asthma. My lungs are crap. I have an inflammation disorder issue. I have to try to be remotely careful, but I'm a teacher, so I'm going to be in a room with other people on a regular basis. So while I cannot tell you to wear a mask, I can tell you I 100% appreciate people who do wear masks covering their nose as well, because the nose is still part of the respiratory system. So anyone who wears a mask that covers the nose and mouth, I know that you are caring about other people around you. That's it. So there you go. All right. So big thing about Bio 123. There's a lot of information. We're about to look at the lecture schedule and how this is all set up. There's a good deal of information. I know this. If you wait until right before a test to try to slam it all into your head, it doesn't work. Science is similar to math, where it builds on concepts. If you haven't actually learned this part, when you get over here, you're going to have trouble. So you need to revisit it. You need to look at it on a regular basis. And so that's kind of why I force you to do some of the things I do. I I recommend actually looking at your textbook and looking at like the concepts and whatnot. Now, this is an entire page of your syllabus for a reason. All assignments close at 10 p.m. 10 p.m. on Sunday. Everything locks at 10 p.m. Now, this says all assignments close at 10 p.m. on Sunday. They're all 10 p.m. other than the last week. However, there is 1 week in this course where some stuff closes on a Thursday. And I'll show you that it's week 2. So there you go. Sorry. Now this is how the points break down. These are the promised points. I actually have built in extra credit throughout the term. I'm just not going to tell you which one's extra credit, but I have extra things built in because I have such a strict no policy, no late or remake policy. So I do understand that sometimes life happens and something gets missed, not because you're just being lazy, but because life does that sometimes. So I have stuff built in. These are the promised points. So you have 4 exams total. That is exam 1, 2, 3, and your final exam. All of those are worth 100 points apiece. You have lab grades. This means for each of your labs, it's going to be 20 points per lab. One of these labs is actually worth double. So that one lab will be 40 points. Oh, these two right here, the online problem solving assessment and the QEP assessment. These two are mandatory for all GMC Bio 1, 2, 3 classes. I have no say in this. We will cover them. You have to do these. Each of these are worth 40 points. We have your weekly writing. It is called weekly writing for a reason. Weekly. You know what that means? That means every week. So that means week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think I even might give you one on week 9. Weekly writing. Every week there is one. So you can't ever come in one day and go, oh, I didn't realize we had that. You have it every week. Each of these are also worth 20 points. Then we have your weekly quiz. Again, titled weekly because you should always expect one. These are 15 points each. And then we have 2 lecture assignments. So for the weeks we don't meet in person, you have a lecture assignment, which is worth 40 points apiece. So for week 1, there will be a lecture video for chapters 1 and 2. And in that video, I will tell you what your lecture assignment is. And then you will go to the assignment that says lecture assignment. I think it says 1 maybe, or week 1. We'll look at it in a second. And then you will type up what I told you to tell me from the video. This is how we account for your attendance and interaction for those missed lectures. Now notice this one straight up says hybrid. When I talked about attendance and I said you can't miss the 3 hybrid assignments, this is it right here. That means you have to do these weekly writings. If you're having a rough week and you're just trying to save some time, at least open this up and type something, anything at all, so you don't get a 0. That way you don't accidentally get bumped out of the class for non-participation. Okay, so here we go. This is now the schedule. So these are the weeks. Notice week 1 and week 2, I don't have a date. That means we do not meet in person. I then also tell you no in-person class on Monday. Over here, we have the labs that we will be conducting. If it has a V next to it, that is a virtual lab. Some of these, like down here, I might have an in-person one as well, but I'm not sure. I changed things up, but you can bank on these virtual labs. So week 1, chapter 1 and 2, there will be a lecture video on these and a lecture assignment. Week 2, you have chapters 3 and 4. Again, there will be lecture assignments here, lecture videos with it, with a lecture assignment. And then you have your very first test online. So the first 2 weeks It's going to be crazy because we are not meeting in person and you have your first test. I know, I get it. It's crazy, but it'll work. I promise. Then week 3, January 23rd, that's when we actually finally meet in person. And chapter 5, great lab here, one of my favorites. And then the week 4, I start to say the second week. Week 4, we meet in person. This is what we cover. Week 5, we will begin with exam number 2. After we do the exam, we take a small break, and then we cover chapter 8 and we start moving forward. Then here, and then here, and then we get to week 8. Week 8, we do exam 3 in class. Notice nothing is written here. That is because normally we finish up whatever we needed from here. We take some time to make sure you're ready for your test. You do exam 3, take a break, and then we do our last lab, which is prepping for the final. And then week 9, March 6th, in class. This is our final exam, is in class. That means, yes, you have to be in class on March 6th. So that is the syllabus. Now, to finish going through here, everything opens up on the side. I have everything set up to open when it's ready. So week 1 is going to open on January 8th. And it tells you all the information here. Every single week, you will have details. So notice here, this is that quiz I said you have to do. Have to do. So click here, take your quiz. Week 1 details. Every week, it's helpful to do this. You don't have to because everything's laid out, but it is helpful because if you click on the week 1 details, it's going to tell you what's going on, and then it's telling you specifically what you have to make sure to do for the week. That's it. Let's see the other parts for week. We also have, yeah, they've changed things up. I really don't care much for it, but anyway, they've changed things. Week 1, reminding you, no in-person class. We've got the links for the different things. That's the page. We'll have lecture videos. These are going to be changed up a little bit. Folders, my PowerPoints. Every week you will have a folder that says my PowerPoints. Those are the ones that I use in class or in the lecture videos. I have shortened some of them. I've added some stuff to some of them. It's whatever. This is literally what I use. Then you have the book PowerPoints. These are the ones that are done with the textbook. Nothing has been cut out of here. So if you want a much more inclusive PowerPoint, that's the one you want to go to. Okay, here we've got scientific method lab you need to do. It's going to be an online. This is where you turn it in, I believe. Yeah. No, this is the assignment. This is where you turn it in. Here's a video that will talk you through it. Lab safety quiz. This is the video you need to watch in order to take this lab safety quiz. Notice it says on the side, receive a grade, make a submission. That means these are the things you have to do to mark them as complete. Due 10 p.m. Sunday night. Critical thinking, weekly writing, number 1. Quiz 1. And lecture assignment 1. So all of these are due Sunday night, 10 p.m. Then you have optional. Every week you're going to have something that says optional. So this one, you have the cell quiz and you have extra one. So this is one of the last things I need to really tell you about. For your quizzes, each quiz that you take, like quiz 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever throughout the term, you will have 3 tries for that quiz. But you get the average for the score. So say that you open it up in order to do the quiz and you treat it like a burner. You just open it, submit it, and you get 0. And then you do it again and you get, I don't know, a 10. And then you do it again and you get a 15. Your score at that point will only be an 8 because you have to average in that 0. This means don't burn it. If you want the best score you can get, you need to go into this quiz ready and try. Okay. The cell quiz is going to be open for almost 2 weeks. This is practice because in your first test, you are going to have to label a cell. So for this quiz, I actually did it for you to label a cell. So go in here and do your best. You can do it as many times as you want. It closes January 19th, 10 p.m. See, it tells you right here when it's going to close, because that's a little early. Now, the more you practice the cell quiz, the better. If you get perfect score on it, you get all the extra credit for it. More than that, it prepares you for the test. Now these crazy ones, there's going to be an extra 1, extra 2, extra 3. Each week that we use the textbook, there's an extra quiz. These can be overwhelming. These you have unlimited number of tries, totally extra credit. You don't have to do them, but they are all of the multiple choice questions from the test bank. The best way to prepare for these quizzes are to do the extras, because all the questions from this quiz came from the extra quiz. There are ways to go about all this. I'll talk about that in class when we meet. I'll tell you how I would do it. But you do have unlimited tries. You keep doing it and submitting it. It is not going to show you what the right answer is when you first do that extra. It will tell you if you got it right or wrong. It's up to you to remember how to keep track of all those things. But again, just like with the cell quiz, the more times you do it and the higher the grade, the better for you. These are extra points, 100% extra points, and they help prepare you for the quiz. When you take the test in week 2, let's go ahead and scroll there. Right here. When you take exam 1 at the end of week 2, all of the multiple choice questions come from those extra quizzes, extra 1 and extra 2. So the better you commit yourself to doing these extra quizzes, the better you will do on exam 1. It's the way it works. Now here, for the exam, you get one chance and one chance only. As soon as you hit start, that is your chance. It is timed. If you hit start and then you back out of it, your timer is still running. You will run out of time. It will time out. It will close it off and you will have failed the test. So make sure you can actually take the test when you open it. Big important thing there. Okay, let's see. I think that is most of this stuff. I'll do another video for week 2 at some point. Okay, let's come back to this. So that's the syllabus and the Moodle stuff. Now, what should you do? Big thing, read ahead, look at the keywords, stuff like that. I'm never going to be doing like a vocabulary test, but I will use some of those science words in the questions because this is a science class. If you don't know what the word means, you're not going to be able to answer the question. It's not meant to be a trick. It's just the nature of the beast. So whenever you see a word you don't understand, take note, learn it, that kind of thing. Reminder again, hybrid class. You have to do the online assignments. There you go. Email protocol. Feel free to email me, message me, all you want. But please use complete sentences, please. Punctuation, stuff like that, spacing, those kinds of things. I like to be able to actually read what somebody writes and not get frustrated. Let's see. It can be a fun class. It can be overwhelming. When you need anything, just let me know. Just ask. If you send me a message through Moodle and you don't hear back from me in, say, about a day or so, then send another message or actually use my email address. I say this because Moodle will email me the message you sent me through Moodle, and I will reply most of the time through email because it's on my phone, and Moodle sometimes will not send that email back to you. So I will do my best to make sure I log into Moodle and respond through Moodle. But I do have that happen sometimes where somebody will send me a message through Moodle emails me, I reply, I think everything's good to go and you've got all the info you need. And it turns out you never got my reply. I always reply, always. I never, ever, ever ignore an email or a message from a student ever. And it is very rare to take more than 24 hours for me to reply. Even if my life is going crazy and I can't answer the question, I reply and tell you that I can't quite get to it yet. I will soon, and I will give you a clue because I want you to know that you were heard. So if you don't hear back from me within about 24 hours, that means chances are you sent it through Moodle and I replied and I don't know that you didn't get a reply. So seriously, don't worry about sending me a second message, just do it. That being said, if you send me a message or an email, give me time to reply. I have had people who will send like 3 or 4 within a 1 hour period. That's not enough time for me to reply because I have 4 jobs. Okay. Like seriously, sometimes I literally might be doing one of my other jobs and I physically cannot reply just yet. So that's why I say, give me a little bit of time, but never more than 24 hours because that's just not going to happen. Let's see. I think that's it because I'm going to recap a bunch of this the first day we actually get to meet and get to know everybody a little bit. So hopefully this works okay for you. And I am so tired of already talking. So I am going to wrap it up here and say, welcome. Thank you for making it through here and can't wait to see you in person. Peace out.